Good evening, uh, kind friends, those who wish to sit in this medicine circle. Uh, I've been talking for the last 20 video dialogues about mental health and the impact it has on one's loved ones, the community surrounding the individual, the treatment team who attempts to care for such, and for the individual primarily who suffers some sort of anxiety, depression, confusion, maybe even addiction. Uh, I'm not a doctor. I am not an EMT, although I've had the training, no license, and I am not a licensed practitioner of medicine in any way or form. However, I'm 65 years old. When I first started experiencing the joys of education and the excitement of new discoveries, I I just really wanted to go somewhere in academia. I was probably 11, 12 years old when I had decided at that age in Wakanda, Illinois. We were living in a farmhouse, and I was going to the school in Wakanda. There's a lake there. It's called Bangs Lake, and quite a interesting mixture of people go through there. At one point, it was like Geneva Lake and Sturgis, and just a great gathering place. Once or twice a year, people would pass through. It was real rural. My mom, a single parent, decided my brother and I needed to get out of city life. So we actually rented a farmhouse. There was cornfield, and we had a barn, all that. The farmhouse framework was kind of tiny. It looked big on the outside, but the architecture on the inside was real space confining. You had to be very efficient in how you stored your things and arranged the furniture. And so I've had a taste of both city life and country life, and both are different and both are the same. People are people wherever you go. We've been talking for 4 minutes now, and I'll meet you with the message. In psychology and psychiatry and neurophysiology and biopsychology, we don't have every answer in that field. We're using neuroleptics from the 60s still. From 67 is the last time any other drug except one, clozaril, which causes a brain nucleosis. That's depletion of your leukocytes or your white blood cells, and it can turn into a life-threatening affair. I I gave it a shot. You have to have blood work every so often, very often actually, like once a week, twice, you know, at least about once a week so they can monitor the leukocytes. At this time, that was like maybe 40 years ago. We're not talking present day in my case. In my case, uh, I had a lot of problems and I had the strength to reach out for help. And the help that was provided turned out to be more harmful than the problem I had begun with. There's civil law, family law, medical science is intrinsically woven and intertwined with the law. You have to have due diligence in the ER and on any unit that one may be directed to. Due diligence for to just admit admit someone for say a 72-hour hold because someone's loved one got on the phone, reported an emergency for an emotionally disturbed person. There are so many stories. I'll not tell you every single story, but I'll tell you a couple. One time within the last 28 months from today, March 6th, 2022, there was a domestic disturbance. I'd have to look it up to give you, where, when, why, how, and all those. And then, the five other questions, observation, and to have an agreement with a group of professionals that understand these things. So the wife, she loved her husband extremely, and she was so concerned. Uh, she was very concerned because he mentioned that he might want to harm himself because he was feeling bad, and so he he wasn't acting out on that, but it was enough to make his wife nervous enough to dial 911. When the police arrived, the gentleman was in his yard doing yard work, landscaping the front yard. Anyone could see what he was up to. He was just working out his anxiety by doing a little home landscaping. It was, and there wasn't anything he was doing that aberrant or awkward. However, the dispatcher, when she notified the city police, she mentioned a knife. We know where this is going. So the next example I'll give you is in Vallejo, yeah, Vallejo, Wisconsin. There was this poor, distressed woman, and she was in her vehicle, her motor vehicle. She had a permit to carry and a FOID card. Her gun was legal. She kept it in the glove compartment of her car. So someone called on this woman in Vallejo, Wisconsin, and there was kind of a standoff. They didn't know what to do. She was parked in her car on the street. The people who, Karen, whoever called, uh, they arrived, L5 and all the other units. It was televised. Uh, for some reason, she was genuinely suicidal. She was. Uh, every indication pointed to that. And she had a firearm in her glove compartment while she sat in her vehicle, idling the car engine. And now she's surrounded by the uh, the county police in Vallejo. Her loved ones, her family, all the neighbors, everyone is watching. There's TV crews. Well, she had eventually gotten to the point in so-called negotiations that she was holding the gun like this, you know. Okay, she was holding her gun, sitting in the car. The car was idling. She was surrounded on all sides by loaded weapons. The neighbors throughout the neighborhood, and this was just a small neighborhood, uh, a neighborhood, things like that just never happened. Nobody could believe it. Mm, uh, uh, mm. Anyway, we all witnessed this live streaming. Uh, apparently, the hostage takers had came to a decision. So, what was done was black plastic tarp was thrown over the vehicle. All this is streaming on TV, live in the news. The neighbors are gathered, staring at at a safe distance. Now the car is shielded in a black tarp plastic. The police proceeded to close in with shields and mm, I'd say they put maybe 35 to 40 rounds inside of her, uh, and that was that. It left a lot of questions. I had the good fortune of knowing a federal officer, and I was starting to get to the point. Um, I believe that the police maybe might be a little trigger happy. Now we're just talking 28, 29 months ago from the year 2022, so it wasn't that long ago. It gave an impression. Well, my friend William, a federal law enforcement agent, uh, and I sat. William taught me verbal judo. That was William's gift to me. The art of verbal judo. That is the art of de-escalation, the art of ass- assertiveness, and that is the art of using one's words skillfully and to the point. What I'd like to speak about after what William told me is more interesting, I think, as far as advocacy. In California, just the other day, a new law has been enacted, which involves involuntary outpatient commitment. Involuntary outpatient commitment goes like this. Uh, there's now a few divisions in the judicial system that weren't until just a few days ago. All these rules have happened. Uh, in, Involuntary outpatient commitments, you go through. It's a branch of civil court. Uh, you'll experience that. Realize that once you have spoken the magic words, that is, I may want to hurt myself. I am feeling so bad. I don't want to go on. Okay, so you convince yourself that that is not ideation of suicidal nature. We all do that. We convince ourselves things are different than they are. It's because things as they are a double-edged sword. Nothing is nothing is black and white. Nothing is absent in this paradigm of consciousness that we see filters through our likes, our dislikes, our belief systems, our prejudices, our lack of consideration for the other. The other. We're in this world. There's us. There's the higher, whatever you wish. And then there's the community that we live in, which is a social society. We live in social norms, mores, morals, and whatnot. Our mind can look at the sky and it's blue, but our mind can look at the sky and say, well, it's the color of a rose. Everything is going fine. The bills are paid. All, we, my entire family has sustenance. Our minds trick us uh, because we live in a prison. I said prison, as in gulag. It's in your mind. The mind, which is a finite thing, the mind is very finite. Then, what is beyond the mind and yourself, myself, everyone? Infinity. How can the finite compare to infinity? All right, it's not religion, it's not philosophy, it's not any given mindset to promote. I don't want that. You think your own thoughts, I'll think mine. I'm stating a few simple things though. Your original social group is your family, your immediate family. This expands into your extended family, a wider circle, which it in turn uh, expands into a village or a city, which in turn turns into county, state, federal, global. Now, here's something I want you to listen to real careful. is a very profound statement, and it's not mine. All this knowledge that I try to share in some way, none of it's mine. Have you ever had an original thought? One single original thought. Can you answer yes? Have you ever had an original, authentic, real? I, I'd like to hear. I wish you would. Those who are truly enslaved are the ones who believe that they are free. Those who are enslaved are the ones who believe they are free. I never discuss politics. I might, tap a satirical comment that I don't promote any politics. Never touch it. Don't go near it. Political science. Not because it's wrong or bad. It's just beyond me. So I stay removed from that. Now, civil engineering, social sciences, oh, anthropology, sociology, science, the arts, music. Music, a universal language. Mathematics, applicable to the laws of the universe. Huh. I'm not here to give you any instructions or any advice. What I want to tell each and every one of you is s- center into yourself. Bring it in. So often, here we go. Stimuli, the organism, and the response. Uh, that is you. That is just as a single cell life form, a parasinium, something, whatever. There's always the stimulus, the organism, a parse, and then a response. Now, what this means, if you look at the SOR, is are we the product of our environment, nature or nurture? Which is it? Is this echo dome, this region, this geographical location? Is this what creates us? Does the environment, are we products of the environment? Finally, it's been agreed on. There is no difference. Nature, nurture, mind, body, none of those things are separate. Stop concerning yourself with the top heavy, continuous bombardment of media. Media is an in and of itself uh, like money. Money exists to make money. Money doesn't care about you. The marketplace, that's fine. If I were given a choice between communism, socialism, totalitarianism, Sharia law, uh, in the Sikh faith, we call it Rahit Marida, different from Sharia, still law enforced. Yes, Rahit Marida is enforced. Sharia, they have lost key. It's become a thing unto itself. It has nothing to do with what once was. Financial gain. Is that what we're in life for? With this full knowledge of our own mortality? Financial gain? You see, this prison, it's your mind. It's said that the jewels, the gems, the rubies are all contained within the mind. Illusion is internal dialogue. We have a precognition, yeah, a subconscious, pre-conscious, uh, uh, on different layers. There's basically, well, there's a lot more than just five, but there are five brain waves. There's alpha, there's beta. In beta stage, that's everyday life, when the brain is vibrating at beta. Then delta. Delta is different. And there's kappa. Alpha, beta, delta, kappa. How many brainwaves? Are you even aware of your biorhythmic system? I'm not saying you have to be. I'm just asking. All right, well, we've only got less than 2 minutes. Beware of false idols. That can be your favorite TV program, anything that takes you away from realizing there's no separation in this earth. Mind, body, nature, nurture, your core being, your core within this environment, this harsh environment, subject to elements, heat, cold, rain, snow, with a hunger in the belly that needs to be addressed in a concentrated way. You can pay attention to your diet. What goes in comes out. So garbage in, garbage out. Good in, good out. Really simple. Well, if you or someone that you know seems unreachable, You're unreachable to yourself if you find yourself in that situational vortex. Others, they see they can do nothing. If someone wishes to do such things, they're going to, no matter what. There's no stopping a determined individual. God bless and take care. I hope you find your way back to the inner sanctum. Waheguru.